We got the latest release from LDRC, the 1297. It's basically a 1/14 scale hard body. It is a Mitsubishi Pajero, but it's not licensed. It does look really, really cool, and you can get it as either a ready to run, or you can actually get a kit version instead. The kit, I think, is about $45 to $50, depending if you get it from like AliExpress or Banggood. And the ready to run, I think, is either like $50 to $60, again, depending on where you get it from. It does look very similar to the Range Rover they released not too long ago, and I did a review on this and I basically said it was the worst RC car I owned, and yeah, it wasn't very good. But I'm hoping the Pajero will be better, but to be honest, even if it isn't, I mean, trying to find the Pajero hardbody these days is really, really hard. I've got an old Tamiya CC01 and that thing just looks fantastic, and this actually looks pretty good. So let's check this thing out and then we'll run it and see if it's as bad as the Range Rover or hopefully a little bit better. Specs wise, it does say it's got metal gears, it's got a straight axle on the rear with a 4-link suspension. It's actually got IFS on the front. Unfortunately, there's no oil-filled shock, so it is very bouncy, as you can see, which is a shame. I mean, I'm not sure if the kit's the same, but you know, oil-filled shocks would go a long way. One thing I do like about this one is the tyres vented, but they do actually, if you can just see in there, they do actually have foams, whereas the Range Rover didn't. So hopefully these tyres might actually be alright. They do feel fairly grippy, to be fair, whereas the tyres on the Range Rover, you know, weren't very good at all. It does have a proportional steering throttle. I'll show you the transmitter and everything in a moment. The main thing for me is this body. I think, you know, the body looks really, really nice. I love the two-tone with the white and the silver. You can also get a blue two-tone one as well. You've got that full scale interior in there, which is a bit hard to see. But so you do get some different instructions in the box for, you know, how to use the transmitter and stuff like that. You get Chinese and English. You also get a little sheet that just tells you about sticking on the windscreen wipers and the mirrors and stuff like that. You get your kind of little bag of goodies, which will have your USB charger in there. It's got a little screwdriver, and it's got all of, like, you know, your mirrors and your door handles and stuff like that. Because although these ones say they are ready to run, the WPLs and the LDRCs and all those types of ones, they do generally, you know, it's like a little bit of model building. You know, you stick the mirrors on and stuff yourself, so it's not really ready to run. You know, you do need to do a little bit of assembly. But if you like model building, then obviously you can chuck them on. It's not hard. Transmitter. Let's just pop this out of the box. It is their new style transmitter, so different to the ones they had before, which were like a really weird shape which they had on some of the drift cars. They've now swapped to this new style transmitter, which, you know, it's not a bad transmitter. You know, it does have the little foam grip on the wheel, and it's got the little I can't remember what you call it, but a little thumb piece there, you know, so if you do drive one-handed, it is a lot easier. It is a 3-channel transmitter. You've got your steering and your throttle adjustment, and then you can, I'm pretty sure this one, like the other ones, yeah, there you go. You've got a fast-low throttle switch. You've got your headlight switch. So basically, you've got 2 different kind of modes where you can do like a slower throttle or a faster throttle. It's just the dual rate, basically, but it's like an electrical 2-speed. And for this one, you just need 2 AA batteries. The battery compartment for the rig itself is actually underneath, so you basically just got to push it forward, and then once you pushed it forward, you just pull it open. If I can actually get it open, it's a little bit fiddly, and then your battery's in here, which if we just unplug that, it is a little 7.4 volt 500 milliamp hour. I'm pretty sure this is a Li-ion battery. But yeah, so you don't get a massive amount of runtime. You know, you probably get a good, like, maybe 20 minutes, maybe 30 minutes if you're lucky. The only thing I don't like about this battery compartment is the battery does kind of bounce around in there. So when you're on the trail, like I had with the Range Rover, you can hear the battery kind of bouncing around. So that's a little bit annoying, but at least it is easy to get to. Underneath the power switch is just by here. So just turn that on. Okay, so it's all powered on. So first of all, steering servo. It's actually pretty fast responsive steering servo, to be fair. I mean, the steering doesn't look the best, to be honest. It looks a little bit loose, but we've got indicators. I don't like indicators. If we press channel C on the transmitter, we got our headlights. So on the rear, you've got tail lights as soon as you turn it on. And then actually, if you drive the rig, so you've got reverse lights. And then if you go forward and then brake, you've got brake lights. So it is forward, brake, reverse on this one. And again, you've got your indicators on the rear. Okay, let's see what the throttle response is like. On the Range Rover, it wasn't very good, but let's just feather the throttle. Ooh, okay, that's a little bit better. On the Range Rover, it was awful, but that's actually not too bad. It is ridiculously noisy, the motor, if you listen to it. It's like a ship coming into dock or something. You can actually see that it's getting ready to go, though, as soon as I'm starting to touch the throttle. So hopefully this one is maybe a bit more responsive than the Range Rover was, because the Range Rover was awful, to be honest. Let's get these bits of plastic off. Ooh, that's satisfying. We got loads of them. Oh yeah. If you like a bit of ASMR plastic peeling, then turn the volume up. This is the moment for you. Oh yeah, that's a sticky one. Nice. Nice. I've taken a plaster off. Right, I'm going to get the mirrors and the door handles and the windscreen wipers and all that kind of stuff on, and then let's get this thing out on the trail and see what it's like. Okay, we're out on the trail. I've added all the little accessories and everything on there. You can see we've got like the door handles, the mirrors, the windscreen wipers. We've got the little rear light covers on there, and you can actually see the interior in this light as well, which it is a full interior. You know, you could get a driver in there, that'd be pretty cool. First thing I've noticed is I'm resting on a little stone. If I move it off, it doesn't have a drag brake. So yeah, that's the first thing I've noticed. Don't know if you can maybe change that somehow. I'll have to have a look at the instructions. Let's just start with some like gentle tests, just going up some little inclines and stuff like that, and just see what it's like. Main thing I'm looking for is that kind of slow speed control and that response. You know, the Range Rover is really, really bad, so let's see what this thing's like. I am in like the lower speed, the lower kind of dual rate, so it should be more like the crawling kind of speed. So let's see what it's like. Yeah, we're having similar kind of problems, that getting stuck on a stone. Man, that is bad. Oh my life. Literally, where was that? I'm actually full throttle right now. Well, you can't really see on the transmitter, but I'm actually full throttle, and that's the movement we got. Yeah, I think it is pretty much the same as the Range Rover. That's a real shame. Okay, let's try and chuck it in the different dual rate on for the throttle and see if it's any better. Okay, so it's actually a bit better. So that's a bit weird. So the lower throttle, which you'd expect to be like your crawling gear, just has no go in it for obstacles. If you stick it in the faster kind of rate, as if you were going to go like whizzing around. So let's try it from the beginning again on that faster rate and just see what it's like. I'm going to try and go as slow as I can on the throttle to see if we can still actually crawl. It's not bad, but still having to pretty much give it almost full throttle. But we are getting up there at least, and it does look cool because it's a Pajero. Let's see what it's like on this kind of route climb by here as well. Again, I'm still in that kind of faster rate. Oh, come on. Oh, as soon as you get stuck on like an obstacle, you just, like that, you've got no drive. I'm literally hammering full throttle. Oh dear, I definitely say get the kit version and put your own electrics in it. Oh, this is awful. That no drag brake is a bit annoying as well, because every time you're on an obstacle and you roll off, it just rolls away. Yeah, it's definitely not a crawler, I'd say. You know, this is again going to be more kind of like toy grade, isn't it? You know, which is a shame. It's could be really, really cool, especially, you know, with this kind of body, the details on the body, the price. But oh my life, that's just awful. Oh, as soon as you touch something, it gets stuck on. It's just boom. If you just want something that you can just kind of like whiz around, that does look pretty cool. It's just not a very capable crawler. Okay, let's try out its trail speed. We've got it in the lower throttle rate now, so let's just see what it's like full throttle, then we'll switch to the higher one, see if there's any difference. So that's the lower kind of dual rate. So then what we're going to do is just press button A on the transmitter, which should switch us into a higher dual rate. So let's give that a try. you can see there is a bit more wheel speed on that second setting, to be fair. It's just a shame that lower setting isn't more like a proper kind of like torquier crawling setting. You know, that'd be really good. It'd actually be useful then. It would be like more like a proper 2-speed. Now, I'm sure it's in no way waterproof, so I'm not going to run it through the water, but just because we got some kind of like little stones here, let's just see what it looks like with suspension movement. That's if I could actually do some throttle. You can see that as soon as you get stuck on something, it's just not going anywhere. It's a bit of a pointless exercise, but let's just try the little route challenge we do for all the mini crawlers and everything. Just see if this thing can get up there. I highly doubt it, but you know, we'll see if we can send it maybe. Oh, okay. We got no drive on the front. Interesting. Oh, we made it with the first route. That was proper just sending it. See if we can get up the second one. I mean, this isn't really crawling. This is more like bash crawling. Yeah, look, we got no drive on the front wheels again. Let's flip it over and see what's going on. Notice anything on the front there? I don't think that dog bone's meant to be there. Yeah, so kind of similar to the issues I had with the WPL recently. There was the D64 or whatever, where it just kind of falls apart on the trail. Yeah, that's not very good, is it? So something must have come loose there for that dog bone to pop out. We should be able to pop it back in dead easy, but it's still on the other side. It's just come out on that one side. So let me see if I can pop that back in. But that's why obviously that one wheel isn't turning. Okay, I'm not going to be able to pop it back in. It's probably really hard to see. It's probably not going to be able to see it. But the actual cup snapped. The little plastic cup that holds a dog bone in, the one side snapped off. So yeah, I'm not fixing that now. That's literally broken. So yeah, so we've lost drive on basically that front wheel. So yeah, considering I've just literally been driving it for, well, the time on my phone right now says 9 minutes I've been recording for. So it's lasted 9 minutes before it broke. Yeah, that's not too good, is it, to be honest? Well, that was short and sweet, but to be honest, you know, there's not a great deal I can do with it, especially when it's broken. It is a real shame, to be honest. You know, I was hoping this one would be better than the Range Rover, but it clearly isn't. I think the tyres are definitely better on this one, but again, the electronics just aren't very good. If you were just going to use it as like an on-road rig or some really like gentle trailing, then it might be all right, but as a crawler, it's just not very capable. And the fact that it's broken after 9 minutes is just not very good at all. It is a real shame, because like the LDRC drift cars, they are awesome. I really like those. I think they're amazing. And also the Unimog they did in the past, that was amazing as well. It was like double the price, but you know, it was much better. So they have shown they do have the potential to build really cool rigs, but unfortunately these latest ones just, you know, they're not that great. So I would suggest, if you are interested in getting it, I'd probably get the kit version, chuck your own electronics in it, chuck some oil-filled shocks on the back as well, and then I think it would be actually, you know, half decent. But as a ready to run, you know, it's not very good. You can definitely get better value for money. You know, a WPL C24, you can pick those up for like, what, $25? An MN82, you can pick those up for like $45 to $50, and they are better out the box. So, you know, for the people that always complain in the comments and say, oh yeah, but it's cheap, it's like, yeah, but you can get better, cheaper rigs. So, you know, why not? I do still love the fact that it's a Pajero though, and you know, the fact that they're really hard to come by, and I just think, you know, it does look really awesome, especially with that full interior. It just doesn't perform very well. Yeah, I mean, let me know what you think of it in the comments, and let me know if you're going to get one, you're going to get the kit or the ready to run. Drop me a comment if you've got any questions. Thanks very much for watching, and we will see you on the next one.